Hello there, you awakened wonder wherever you are. Well done for transcending the fear. Well done for not allowing the machine to reduce you to the status of an automaton. Well done for remaining connected to your essence. Well done for questioning and interrogating mainstream narratives that will mean one day we will have alternatives. The alternative has already been born. We are it. We are the movement that's going to change the world together. How? By questioning, for example, a memorial for the war on terror. You know the war on terror, that great scar on the West, that great exemplifier of transgressions and lies and treachery and deceit. Yeah, I remember that already, and it's still happening, so I don't need to remember something that's happening now. Well, why don't we build a statue to it? This helps us, this story, you're going to see it in a minute, and here's the news. It helps us to understand the way that the media simply amplifies propaganda of the state and normalizes the message of the state. It's something we've recently begun to understand at Stay Free Media. They normalize an idea through repetition and immersion. Now, I've got to ask you, follow us, subscribe, like our content, and if it's within your means, press the red button and become a supporter of our movement. You know now that the government, the actual government, demanded that we be demonetized. They didn't demand, they asked, but the fact is that it was treated as a demand and we were demonetized. So we need your support now more than ever. Your support is what undergirds, legitimizes, and powers this movement. Without you, we are nothing. But hey, if you can't afford it, don't worry about that. Your attention and your presence is so much more important than your money. We need you more than we need your money, but we do need your money. The first part of the show is available everywhere. Then we're going to be on Rumble. We need you to click the link on the description and join us there. Let's see what the legacy media are telling you. During the Liberal convention in Ottawa, Chrystia Freeland, Nazi granddaughter, and Hillary Clinton, needs no explanation, have been telling us that Ukrainians are dying right now, not for humanitarian reasons, or can't remember what they told us last week, but it's so that NATO can send a message to China. This is astonishing. They're admitting publicly that this is a sort of, well, a PR exercise, it's a resource exploitation exercise, it's an opportunity to pilot tech dystopias. We've already told you about that. BlackRock are already involved. This is extraordinary. Watch the way that this is presented. This is propaganda live. It's essentially like watching like the Emperor and Darth Vader's PR people go, this is why we've got to kill those Ewoks. It'll send a message to other cute, fluffy, bear-like forest dwellers.
Now, I agree with you, Madam Secretary, that...
No shit. You wouldn't be here if you didn't.
The single strongest message of deterrence we can send to China is a decisive...
Message of deterrence. Can you see how much is packed into that little statement? Do China need to be deterred? Where is the empirical evidence that China are expansionist beyond their geographical region and their own history and trajectory and rights to have their own attitudes that maybe isn't the rest of the world's business? And do you imagine that that's what America's doing right now? Do they need to be deterred? Deterred from what? Are China circling America now with military bases, or are America circling China right now with military bases? Just check the answer to that question, and then you perhaps will be in a better position to see whether or not there's any legitimacy to what Chrystia Freeland, Nazi granddaughter, is saying there to Hillary Clinton. You've done your research. I know already in the chat what you think Hillary Clinton's doing for a hobby and where her husband goes on holiday. Notice no one's investigating that. So let me know in the chat and the comments your views, and just look at the media normalizes the agenda of the powerful. The media normalizes the agenda of the powerful.
Ukrainian victory. That is something.
Yeah, send a message. We're sending a message to you, China. That's like if this was a movie about the mob, they're just saying, let's go smash up like China's shop. That's what they're saying, isn't it? That's what they're literally saying. Smash up their shops to let them know what's coming. And Chrystia Freeland, Nazi granddaughter, should know a thing or two about sending messages by smashing stuff up.
That is the message that says to all the world's dictators, you know what? Democracy is prepared to fight back.
It's not fighting back. It's actually fighting preemptively. It's beyond fighting back. It's not like bloody China when they sent that hot air balloon over the country. Well, do you know what we'll do? We'll kill the Chinese. That's what we'll do. We'll start taking over Taiwan right now. That's not what's happening. Sending a message that democracy is willing to fight back. Democracy is not a religion. It's meant to be just a municipal bureaucratic system of engaging the will of the people. Do you know what would be democratic? Do you want a war with China? Yes or no? Tick yes, we'll go bomb China. Tick no, we won't. Do you want us to fund welfare in Hawaii? Tick yes or no. Do you want us to perpetuate? Well, that's what would happen in a democracy. That would be democracy. Then you could legitimize what you're saying. Not once every 4 years you can have this son of a or this total arse. That's not democracy. That is a contained system of hegemony where your views are meaningless. And if that were not sufficient evidence that you're sliding into dystopia, how about a delicious ice cream made out of waste plastic? You're all right. No, we're spending money evolving this project.
Well, of course, you know the saying, I scream, you scream, we all scream for ice cream.
Oh, I'm screaming. I'm screaming because you're normalizing dystopia. First it was eat bugs, lab-grown meat, and now ice cream made out of plastic. Also, may I say, ice cream's a luxury. You don't even need ice cream anyway, even if it's like grass-fed cattle or some sort of pure bean grown somewhere without lopping down a bit of the Amazon. And to re-harvest plastic just to give people ice cream. Stop eating ice cream, actually. Stop it. It's not very good for you. We're not idiots. Let's start eating things that grows where we are, when we are. And if you're a person that eats meat, and even though I don't judge you because it's your life. That's called your life. Try and eat meat that's somewhere around where you are, not shuttled around the world in a factory, bolted in the brain. Let's try and get out of this hell, shall we? Not work out, we found a new corner of hell to occupy. You're going to eat shit now and like it. It's vanilla flavored. Can't you at least make it chocolate?
This is plastic ice cream. Scientists from the UK have reportedly made the world's first food made from plastic waste.
Why is this news? It's not even edible yet. This is like they've made food made out of plastic. Well done. Well done you. Can we do something about the forever wars? Can we do something about the incremental increasing surveillance state? Can we do something about these censorship laws that are being normalised and introduced? Can we do something about the culture wars? Can we let people have some hope, meaning and God in their lives? Sorry, did you say you want a plastic ice cream or not? It's chocolate flavored now. That isn't chocolate.
Researchers from the University of Edinburgh figured out a way to harness bacteria.
Also, part of the problem with processed food, isn't food already too processed, giving us diabetes, heart disease, cancer, full of phthalates from plastics that's getting in there by accident? Do you know what we need? More processed food. Go on with more plastic. That isn't the answer. Why are you going that way? Why are you running in the wrong direction? Why are you dragging us to hell? It's delicious, you know. Ugh, delicious hell.
As well as enzymes to behave as eco-friendly factories that break down plastic into digestible material.
Hang on that rotating thing like it's a car on a game show. Like, look at what you could have won. Some disgusted plastic ice cream.
However, the scientists involved made sure to emphasize that the ice cream is still a research project and not yet ready for human consumption. We will see.
It's not news, propaganda. It's propaganda. Just because something's digestible as well, that doesn't mean you should eat it. The news is digestible, but you shouldn't be consuming it. Next on the dystopia cavalcade, Worldcoin. We told you about Worldcoin, how they've found some country poor enough to tolerate the introduction of chrome spheres, sucking data out of your eyes, stealing all your biometrics under the auspices of helping you as usual. Safety and convenience, all the way to the cell and to the boneyard. Here, the claim is made that this technology could be used for social welfare. Let's see how the legacy media are going to normalise this piece of propaganda.
In cities around the world, big metallic orbs are scanning people's eyeballs and handing out a new cryptocurrency as a reward.
Well, actually, I'm not happy about that. I'm still getting used to the idea that you don't have like a milkman come to your house and deliver milk every day, that you don't have a paper boy. There you go, sir. There's your newspaper. I'm adjusting to that. I'm adjusting to the dehumanization, turning everything into data and information, stripping away community and connection. I'm not ready yet for the chrome orb, sucking information out of my eyes, spying on me, and introducing a currency that can be switched off if I'm not an obedient little prisoner of the state. Notice how the news, which is, never forget, just a TV show amplifying the agenda of the powerful, tells you now that this is somehow going to help you.
From New York to Tokyo, these scanning stations look like a scene out of a sci-fi movie, one where...
That's not good. Sci-fi movies may be enjoyable as entertainment. You don't want to live there, do you? You don't want to actually live in Blade Runner. You're like, oh, I like that, Blade Runner. God, it really makes you think about the possibility of like AI and the amount of control that could be exerted by a government. Yeah. And what does it make you think about it? That you would like it to actually happen? No, actually, it's a warning, a horrific warning about the hubris of humankind and what happens if we detach absolutely from simple, easy to understand values like kindness, service, justice, unity, love, tolerance, which to these people are just words and ways of sucking information out of your eye with a chrome bull.
Humans trade their personal biometric data for the right to participate in a new kind of modern economy.
Oh, did you hear that? The right to participate. That means they can switch off your money. That's where it's going. You won't be able to travel. You won't be able to spend. Do you really think, after what you've been through in the last few years, they'd never do that? I'd like to see them implement the laws they introduced in China to Americans or to British people, as a matter of fact. Yeah, or Australians, mate. And what about the Canadians? Well, we're going to do it double quick over there. We've already got the perfect regime in place. This is just the normalization of immersive surveillance, censorship, and now the ability to shut off your money.
Has a lot of big name backers. In May, Worldcoin raised $115 million in a Series C funding round led by Blockchain Capital. Other members of its cap table include...
What was attractive about blockchain, if I understand you guys right, and let me know in the chat and the comments, because you guys are much more advanced on this than me, plainly, is that it allows anonymity. It allows commerce and trade outside of the auspicious reach of the government, the state, and the corporate partners in big tech. Well, what they're doing is, what if we took blockchain and cryptocurrency, but instead of it being private, anonymous, and untraceable, we made it the opposite of that. Maximum privacy for government, maximum invasion into your privacy. It should be the reverse. The government should be 100% transparent, and you should have access to total privacy, unless you're proven to have done something wrong. What's being normalized is the inverse of that, before your very eyes. And while you've got your eyes, how about sucking some information out of those guys? Just look into the chrome sphere. Completely normal, nothing to worry about.
Include VCs like Andreessen Horowitz and Coinbase. Worldcoin, now valued at $3 billion, according to the information. A user signs up through the app, and they are then tasked with visiting a Worldcoin location.
Find a nearby orb, just like, you know, like it's a sort of a mailbox, a post box, a friendly policeman that you're strolling by. Where is the pastoral life? Madness.
In one of the more than 20 countries where the orbs are currently operational.
We told you last time they pilot it in a poor country, they'll bring it to rich countries. It turns out we, stroke you, stroke we, were right about that. Let's have a look at some other facts. According to Reuters, Worldcoin has said it will allow companies and governments to use its ID system. Oh, so part of the convenience and safety will be that your information will be given to companies for advertising and governments for control. Yeah, well, God, yeah, I suppose you could do that. One of the envisaged applications of Worldcoin is to create a public infrastructure that will serve as proof of personhood. Who doesn't want to prove that they're a person? That's the only thing that's happening. It's not that it's going to create a vast database of facts about you. Without citing sources or methodology allowing it to arrive at this conclusion, a post on Worldcoin's website claims that India managed to save more than $500 million worth of social welfare and subsidies by using a biometric data-based anti-fraud system. Social welfare, I feel, is the lubrication that will ultimately become social credit scores. But let me know in the chat and the comments what you think. And remember, if it's within your means, press the red button. Join us, become part of this movement. We need you if we're going to oppose all this stuff. Hey, you know we believe in free speech. You know we believe in freedom of speech. And where freedom meets speech, you get free speech. And where free speech meets, you get freech. This is from VBEC. The problem arising for creators of independent journalism is that you stand alone. You should seriously consider creating a collective of some sort so you can stay free and bring us news that leaves space for free thinking, reasoning and deduction. Yeah, we would love your help. That's why it's important that you join us. Press the red button. Support us, man. Blessed old bird. How lovely. Hello, how lovely to say your name. I hope you're all right out there. Lawlessness equals where evil is good and good is evil. We're well on our way, aren't we? Astrotuch. Free speech. You're both well-informed and misinformed. Without it, only misinformed. At Sandwater, thank you for standing up to tyranny and waving the freedom flag. Thank you for supporting us. Cheryl Parker, as an independent news junkie, I finally found your platform. It's the best remedy for maintaining one's sanity. I can't recall laughing this much in months. Thank you, Russell. You are the best. You gotta keep laughing. Humour, the ability to discern, the ability to stay awake are absolutely vital. Press the red button, become an awakened wonder, support us so we can continue with this movement. Remember the war on terror? What do you mean remember it? It's still happening. Oh yeah, well, you don't need to remember it. But can we build a memorial anyway? I don't think you should build a memorial. It seems bad taste with all those millions of people that died. We're going to build a memorial. We're going to build a memorial to the war on terror. Let's have a look at the war on terror. What it means, what it meant, why it happened, why a memorial's being built, and why the legacy media simply amplifies the propaganda of the corporate state rather than interrogating it and questioning it. Here's the news. No. Here's the effing news.
No, here's the fucking news.
Remember the war on terror? Yeah, it was awful. Let's put it behind us. Or commemorate it with a new memorial. Luckily, the mainstream media will interrogate the veracity of this endeavour and ensure that this isn't used to facilitate ongoing wars. Or will they just make it seem normal and kind of cute? There is a new memorial being planned to commemorate the war on terror. Those of you old enough to actually remember it will not want a memorial because you will remember it as a travesty and a tragedy that caused the deaths of millions of people all over the world. 4.5 million is a rough estimate. Created problems that we're still living with, geopolitical disasters across the Middle East, and in a sense facilitated the new military-industrial complex that continues to perpetuate its agenda to this day. It's also the issue that defines our time. When people tell the truth about war, the motives for war, the fiasco that is war, whether it's in Afghanistan, Iraq, or the current conflict between Ukraine and Russia, those people are silenced and shut down. This is a time where war is perhaps more important than ever because there is a war against the individual, the war against domestic population, and numerous planned wars against other superpowers, presumably to facilitate a unipolar global dystopia where none of us have any individual freedom, and it seems that they're doing surprisingly well. Let's have a look at this memorial to dread, death, tragedy, travesty, and dishonour. Hooray!